Hello, everyone. I hope everybody is doing good. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Um, Working, ups and downs. Uh, and I said, now that I have some downtime, let us talk about some interesting things that are going on, especially in the energy space. And I'm here at a solar farm, uh, dropping off a consignment of solar panels. And one thing that is going to catch your eye when you get to this particular spot in some parts of West Texas is the scale with which solar energy is being expanded, especially in the US. I've been to a number of locations recently, and there are a lot of companies that have set up shop to, push the production and expansion of solar energy, especially here. One of the companies I worked with is Trina Energy, who have set up shop here in the US. This is another one called Astro Solar Energy, also manufacturing solar panels. More or less assembling them in the US. They're manufactured in China. And this project is massive. You can look around. Those are, the steel footings on which they're going to do the installations. You can see specialized equipment moving the steel poles and bars into the farm. And now this is about easily 500 acres, if not 1,000, of a solar field. I don't know if you're able to see on the horizon we have some windmills that are not moving for some reason, because it's very, very windy today. But yeah, this particular solar farm stretches all the way to the foot of that hill or plateau up ahead. And there's another ridge on this side. So it starts from here, goes to that particular end, and all the way to that end. About 500 acres of solar farm. There's another area over there where they have an open ground and you can see a dust storm going up. So it's a huge solar farm that they have here. Here they are with a specialized fork tractor, I should say, that is moving this stuff to the farm. Yeah, and the boxes you see down there, those are the solar consignments that have been dropped at specific spots on this farm for installation. Anyway, solar energy. Yeah, one of the renewable energies that's readily available by nature, from God, you should say. And this company manufactures crystalline photovoltaic solar panels. Essentially, they're making their solar cells from semiconductors. I'm not sure which particular material they're using, if it is silicon or indium or gallium, whatever semiconductor they could be using to manufacture this. I hear, or I'm told, that the monocrystalline photovoltaic cells are more efficient in converting sun into energy, but they're more expensive than the polycrystalline types, and there are many others. Those who understand this more could be knowing what I'm talking about. Yeah, but it's a scale with which they are doing this. And, expanding energy to these particular spaces, horizons, renewable energy using windmills up ahead, solar panels, a lot of them in this field. They have not done installation on this side, but there are so many of them that side. If you're watching or looking at them from afar, you might think it's a lake because of the reflection of the rays from the sun, but they're actually solar panels, a lot of them. So, yeah, from here, the energy produced by these cells, and the production really is about the rays from the sun hits the solar cells, and the photons do displace electrons in the semiconductor. If it's silicon, so silicon electrons are displaced or dislodged by the photons from the sun, and that creates a flow of electricity. Basically, when electrons do move, you do have creation of electricity, and they have some junctions that allow these electrons to maintain a monodirectional flow for electricity to be formed, because if you allow them to come back, there's going to be a recombination, and that way you lose the energy that you had created with the photons. And this energy happens to be DC, direct current, and by use of inverters, they have giant stations of inverters everywhere around this field. The DC is converted to AC, alternate current, and that is fed into a grid. For the case of Texas, they have their own independent grid run by a company called ERCOT. And ERCOT is responsible for the supply of energy within Texas. About 90%, I should say, of energy in Texas is managed directly by ERCOT. And there's another company called Encore, which is responsible for the transmission of this power or delivery to your home. You can be able to equate it to Kentraco in Kenya. Yeah, so massive projects, and this is part of those processes that allow you understand that there's a very intricate relationship between China and the US, because all these things are manufactured in China, especially the solar cells and other accessories for such projects, and many other areas or fields will have interdependency between the two countries, making the relationship bittersweet, competitive, but very, very much dependent on each other. But by and by, the US is becoming more of a consumer economy, and the China is becoming the manufacturing economy, which is an ecosystem you don't want if you're the US. Anyway, I digress. So, lessons for Kenya: we have a lot of arid areas or semi-arid areas with a consistent supply of the natural sun. Such projects will be very, very helpful to help us alleviate the deficiencies we do have in the energy sector. But that can only happen if the cartels within those spaces, people like the independent power producers in Kenya, who are running diesel generators to feed the grid, and they're paid, be it, Kenya Power is taking the energy or not. You take it, you pay. You don't take it, you pay. Very interesting kind of contract. I don't know who signs that. But if this competition is allowed in Kenya, Other players are allowed to come in and compete with other producers like Kengen. And, Kenya Power becomes a custodian of this energy, but allow other companies to be able to purchase and sell this energy to Kenyans. And then probably that monopoly can be broken down to a degree, allowing energy costs to go lower in Kenya. But like I said, that can only happen under the right leadership, where motive, in which case people line their pockets, does not supersede the needs of the country, especially a country like Kenya that is a growing economy, which needs sustainable energy for it to be able to grow. Companies might want to come set up shop in Kenya, but we don't have sufficient energy to sustain the needs, so they go elsewhere. And I think one of the ministers from Vietnam had a write-up mocking Kenya on how low energy production is per capita, and how that cannot allow any element of growth. Are we doing fair in Africa? Yes, we are, but we have a lot of work to do in that space. But anyway, I'm not an expert in that. All I'm saying is that the monopoly on Kenya energy supply needs somehow to be broken for it to make sense, even for the end consumer, who's not doing any element of manufacturing or production. It is becoming a burden even for those who want that as a utility in their houses. Anyway, that said, one other thing that you do observe in such spaces is how seriously they take safety. For you to deliver here, you need to have a hard hat that has to be there before you step out of your equipment. They need steel-top boots, so that you don't hurt yourself in case something runs into you or drops on you. High visibility vests so that people are able to see where you are at any given moment. And those particular practices you see here across many industries: warehousing, logistics, construction, and whatnot. Some of the things that are really, very basic, but they do help save a life. In spaces such as that. Especially in construction in Kenya, we do not observe safety procedures such as this. It could help make such environments more safe. Anyway, huge project, massive project, and I hope that this is the direction we're headed as a country, with the right leadership, which is why come 2027 you need to choose the right leadership. That way you are able to expect such advances to happen in many sectors of our economy, energy being one of those that are very pivotal for a country to grow economically. That said, register to vote. I'm not telling you you're going to vote for, but I want to hope and believe that as a country, having taken bitter lessons for the past few years, you're able to make the right choice when it comes to the election of 2027. Thank you. Have a blessed day.